Well, we've met some remarkable musicians during this trip. Greg, thank you very much for introducing us to Lee Konitz and Michael Brecker. We've heard Jewish American contributions to the jazz tradition, each with a distinct individual voice. But how do you become an individual? And how do you cultivate your own style, your own voice, or your own sound? Well, our last jazz story will focus on a remarkable man who cultivated individuality among his students and was a remarkable individual himself, Arnie Lawrence. That's Arnie, what you're hearing right now, playing Loverman from his 1982 recording, Renewal. Arnie Lawrence was born in Brooklyn in 1938. That's the same year that Benny Goodman expanded the boundaries of American culture at Carnegie Hall. At age 12, he was playing professionally. At age 17, Arnie was playing at Birdland. And in 1967, he joined the legendary Clark Terry's big band. Terry was also a profoundly gifted teacher. And in the 1970s, Arnie joined Terry as a teacher at Penn Studio in Harlem. Arnie later remembered how Clark Terry taught me how to teach. In the 1980s, Arnie in turn played an instrumental role in founding the jazz program at New York's New School, and in the 90s, he founded the International Center for Creative Music in Jerusalem. Now, Arnie's students from over the years include artists, famous artists, such as Roy Hargrove, Brett Meldau, Robert Glasper, Spike Wilner of Smalls Jazz Club, Omar Avital, Anat Avishai, Yuval Cohen, Itamar Borochov, and many others. What did Arnie teach? Here's what Arnie said about learning from the masters. Those guys are giants because they don't set any limits on themselves, and they use as a guide greatness, meaning they use greatness as their guide. So if you want to play great, practice great, you know what it sounds like. Arnie accordingly created frameworks that brought together master musicians and students. When you get the acceptance of great people and they put their hand on your shoulder, that's what I did. I tried to put jazz originals, musical originals with different opinions in front of talented young people. Arnie's ultimate goal, however, was to help his students find their own voice. And this is what he had to say about that process. The music will take you there if you let your mind go to that special place where you become part of the music. Once your mind and your spirit and your soul become part of the music, you're playing with so much joy. When you hit that point, your ego disappears and you listen inside the song. You say, the sound that is coming out of my trombone or my trumpet or my saxophone or my piano or my guitar is my voice. But let's hear from two of Arnie's students, bassist Omer Avital and trumpet player Itamar Borochov. Omer and Itamar are celebrated composers, band leaders, virtuosos, and musical storytellers with distinctive voices. Omer remembers how Arnie demanded more than mimicry and technical mastery on the bandstand.
Arnie was the type of teacher that he would teach without formal theory. He just wanted you to feel the music. And we would go up and play, and then he would look and say, but who are you? Like, I hear Art Taylor, I hear Max Roach, but where is it?
Itamar remembers how Arnie was always teaching inside and outside the classroom. Now, this requires a high level of receptivity on the student's part. So I asked Itamar if apprenticeship might be the right term.
I think apprenticeship is a very strong and correct word. That was definitely the experience of somebody sort of taking you under their wing, and therefore every moment with him was a lesson. So with my experience with Arnie, that there was really no downtime. He wasn't interested in small talk or talking about something that doesn't have like a meaning and something to learn from. He was just like an intense character. So for me, it was just let me absorb as much of this as I can. And Arnie was sharing all the time.
Of course, the ultimate embodiment of Arnie's teaching is found in his students' music. Unsurprisingly, their range is as varied as their personalities. We'll listen to two cuts. First, let me add that Omer and Itamar have applied a jazz sensibility to playing North African, Middle Eastern, and Central Asian music that has been preserved and transmitted by Sephardi and Mizrahi Jewish communities. With Omer directing, he and Itamar were founding members of the world music sensation Yemen Blues, and also collaborated on the New Jerusalem Orchestra's Moroccan Andalusian masterpiece, Eternal Love. Now that's the opening to Itamar's original Bayat Blues playing in the background. Itamar's quartet played Bayat Blues live at the Omni American Future Project's second annual event at Mitten's Jazz Club in 2022. That was a wonderful, blessed special evening, Greg.
It sure was. And Itamar played his butt off, man.
Yeah. And we're going to check out Itamar's blistering solo. Yeah, you remember this? On the piece from that same evening. Finally, we'll conclude with the spirited, joyful sound of Anat Cohen. Anat remembers Arnie as one of the most beautiful souls, and she considers him to be one of her most important teachers. Anat has taken a deep dive into Brazilian choro music, but we'll bring our journey home with her buoyant clarinet solo on the American jazz standard Tiger Rag, played with the WDR Big Band.